Relax, don't do it. You wanna get congruent.
Yo, this is for the nobody cares, work harder crowd. I used to have that dumbass mindset. I used to believe in that stupid ass shit. But it's like, how fucking hard are you supposed to work? Like, think about it. How hard are you supposed to work? How much time with your family are you supposed to sacrifice?
All right, buckle up, boys. We're getting crazy. We're getting new jobs today. So how hard are you supposed to work? Basically every day, all day. You don't have a life. Now this one goes, medieval peasants worked only about 150 days in the year. Very nice. The church believed it was important to keep them happy with frequent and mandatory holidays. Okay. He goes, you have less holidays than a medieval peasant. Classic. Oh, we're going to have some fun today. It's just jobs are just a joke, and we're going to talk about it indefinitely until things change. Okay, that's on. Oh, I just want to make sure I look good for today's interview. Anyways.
What are we doing, like, for our jobs, like, for a career, for money? Because I am running out of ideas. I just quit my job, and I have no idea what I want to be when I grow up. And I feel like at this point, I just need someone to tell me, because I'm giving up, and I don't want to keep thinking about it anymore.
All right. Well, other than being a YouTuber video maker guy, that is an option. People don't actually think, people just think we all just make all this money. Some of us do, but we'll talk about that later. Let's dive into some jobs that this chick can do when she grows up, although she looks like she's grown up. But let's really dive deep here, okay? If you're new here, welcome. We're going to have some fun, all right? I'd offer you a hit, but we got to get ready for this job interview. Let's really party. Number 1, tradesman. This should be fun.
Huge shortage of tradesmen, son, because in the last recession, there were 1.5 million tradesmen. They all got laid off. 900,000 of them, they either retired or they went into a different trades. They did sales, they did tech. They never came back. So you had 1.5 million and 900,000 of them disappeared. How many of them were left?
600,000.
At your school, can people learn how to do electric, plumbing, HVAC, any of that?
Out of all the people I know, only know one person.
And what do they go for?
A mechanic.
What kind of mechanic?
Cars and stuff.
So where are all these people going to come from to build houses, man? You know where they're going to come from? Avocados from
Mexico.
There you go, baby. You got to let immigrants come in, right? So that's the only way that we're going to be able to meet demand. And that's why if you use the Burr method over the next 5 years, man, you guys can retire for the rest of your life. About 6 or 7 years, you can retire your parent, right? You're going to help me retire?
Man, you are.
Oh, I don't know what the fuck he was talking about, okay? But that chick could easily retire her parents in about 7 years if she wanted to be a plumber. Now, just an idea for her, okay? We're going to be using her a lot, all right, as a metaphor for what you could be doing with your life. Now, okay, basically all of my friends are tradesmen, except for me, literally. I'm not kidding. And we're all in our mid-30s, okay? So they do pretty well. But most of them make around $30 to $37 an hour. And they've been doing it for like 7 years, 10 years, okay? Really, the only way to make great money in that business is to actually own their own company. But what, are we all just going to own our own businesses? I think you should. But, like, look at this. Top earners, according to Google, all right, they sell information for a living. So that's another thing. You could sell information. Most valuable commodity there is. Look it up. Top earners, okay, in the trades are $66,000 a year. Definitely retire your parents on that, which is a $32 hour, $32 an hour on average. 25 percentile of tradesmen make around $20 an hour. Definitely retire mom with that. That'd be good. Anyways, now let's keep this party moving. What else can she do? She could be a bartender or a waitress. I was actually a bartender for many years, and this is actually pretty on the money. I worked at a party bar. That's where I made the most money, around like $70K, sometimes $80K. But then I also worked at a TGI Fridays. I know. I laughed myself. But then I started making around $57,000, $65,000 a year at a TGI Fridays. Now, granted, I was bartending. and the servers made substantially less than that. They probably made more like 30 grand a year, but they were only working 30 hours a week. So that's awesome. You could go work a second job and make retire your parents. This is gonna be fun. Here's another outside of the box approach that this woman with the devilish black hair, she kind of looks like she's staring at me. You know what I mean? She's like, look at me. You know, she kind of pops out at you. But she has a riveting idea. Take notes on this one.
Money's already printed. You just gotta go get it.
Holy sh... Why didn't I... Guys, anybody in here? I can't believe I didn't think about that. Okay, here's another job you could go do. This is actually kind of outside the box, too. I'm not putting this up here because this guy's a 32-year-old car salesman and he's depressed as fuck, or AF, or ASF. But in this video, this guy was talking about how he can make around 20 grand a month selling Mercedes-Benz. Mercedes. 20 grand a month. You don't have to build the car. You got to sell the car. I'm not making this stuff up. We're just giving the woman in the beginning of the video ideas here. Okay, we're brainstorming. Okay, on how to retire our parents, not on how to enjoy our lives and retire ourselves. All right, this next one's gonna blow your mind. Nolly, I'm gonna need you to see this. Take notes because you're gonna have to get this job. UPS drivers.
So now that UPS drivers are making $170,000 a year, are you thinking of switching careers?
Yep.
How's that possible $170,000 a year feeling? This is going to take longer than a minute. Under current contract, our wage is $41.51 an hour. Now, if you do some quick math here, if you were to take $44.26 an hour times 2,080 hours, which is 40 hours a week, that comes out to about $92,000 a year. But that's not including overtime, and it's also not the important part that we're missing here. See, one of the other things that a lot of people don't take in consideration is our medical insurance and our pension. Now, our pension, don't quote me, but it's roughly somewhere between $11 and $13 per hour that's paid into our pension at the 2,080 hours, which comes out roughly.
We're all just sitting here like, pension? What are you talking about, dude? This is kind of mind-blowing stuff, okay?
About $25,000 a year. Now,
oh, shit.
You can figure the medical insurance at whatever you want, but you can quickly see that it would actually take about a $170,000 a year job to replace this one for me. Now, while the media is making it a little more profound than it really is, they're really not that far off of how amazing it is to work for this company.
Okay. Before we dive into the Amazon workers, which is basically the same job, if you really break it down, you're driving around boxes and packages, okay? One's just dressed in brown and the other one's in blue. Same shit, either way you slice it. But I actually knew an older gentleman. Two guys, actually. One was kind of like an uncle to me. They didn't just work 40 hours a week. It was more like 80 hours a week. Like, you're not allowed to... Your job is not done until the last box is delivered. And they don't care if it's 9 at night. And what are you going to do? Tell them, no, I don't want $150,000 a year and be forced to save a minimum of $25,000 a year? It's actually a great business model. You can force people to sell it, or you're fired and you're fucked. You're going to go work for Amazon, where you make substantially less money. Don't believe me.
Just want to take a quick second to send my condolences to my fellow Amazonian. Dude's got 948 packages back there.
And how do you like it?
Oh, it's pretty good.
How much money can you make?
It all depends. You can make every 2 weeks. You can make about maybe $1,500 every 2 weeks.
Sounds good.
$1,500 every 2 weeks to do the same job as the UPS guy. Okay, I hope that girl from the beginning of the video is watching this. Okay, I really put all this stuff together for her mostly, and you. I didn't forget about you guys, but I care about her. Okay, a stranger on the internet. Anyways, here's some comments from a previous video I did. This guy goes, the Desert Guy 75 goes, I call it system fatigue. Tired of chasing money to pay bills and survive. I like that. System fatigue. That was good.
Like, I'm not with that shit no more. I'm not.
And that's how a lot of people feel, okay? So here's the classic. This person goes, I'm a 24-year-old woman. Graduated from college with a business degree. Can't find employment anywhere. Basically, it's been about 2 months, the classic 2,000 jobs application. Now she's in the process for a $19 an hour temp job. But this is where it's kind of at. Like, it's like we're being forced to work forever. Even me. Like, I have to constantly think, like, okay, video. I'm not bitching about it. I like what I'm doing. But it's kind of the same concept. There's a really big upside. But here's another thing, too, because everyone's bitching about. Think about the trades jobs just for a second. All those tradesmen out there making like half of what a UPS driver makes. Just something to really think about. This was from an immigrant video I did. He goes, don't assume illegal immigrants only work jobs people don't want. Yes, they also work jobs that people do want, or people aren't just not good at, or they won't do it. You think that chick from the beginning of the video is going to go do a trade? Like, literally. You think she's going to be a plumber? For real. You think she's going to drive for a UPS and wear a brown outfit looking like that? Stop it. But it's the truth. And you know what a big one is, too? Was Uber. You could always do Uber. But you know what? All the immigrants are doing that now, too. Don't believe me. But this is about Uber. I actually drove for Uber like 8 years ago. Back when they actually used to pay you good. Like, I used to make some pretty good money. But apparently, you're not making shit anymore. Okay? Because every time I got picked up in an Uber now, at least in South Florida, it's somebody. They're not from here. They're from a far land. And they're picking up scraps. Okay? But this is an Uber guy taking matters into his own hands. A big boss daddy.
Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, listen up. Who's in control here? Uber or Lyft or you? Show them who's the boss, my friends.
Amen, brother.
Low acceptance rate. Don't take the trash she offers. Start making real money. Accept your self-worth and start recruiting your own private clients. Step into your self-worth, drivers, and do not buy into the crap that Uber and Lyft are serving you.
Damn right, brother. Hey, Sugar, I'm in the middle of filming. You good? Sorry about that. Rude. You know what, though? People are saying no. And that's where the immigrants come into play. Like, yeah, I get where he's coming from. Get your private clients. But, like, who's really going to do that? Not many people. He's on to something. Start your own Uber. Genius. Something. Remember, guys, we're just brainstorming here. Okay, you got any genius ideas? Leave some down below. God, doing all the work here. Unreal.
Do cashiers not talk anymore? Like, it is so frustrating.
There's another genius business idea. You could be a cashier. Not to make fun of it, but this is something where, talking about customer service. And this lady nails it on the head. Something to think about.
Niggas are broke. I think people forgot, like, working in retail, or if they ever worked in retail, that is very exhausting to talk to people all day. And when you're not getting paid enough, and people are realizing that they're not getting paid enough, and bills going up, and food is going up, niggas don't want to have a conversation with you. They want you to get your stuff and move along.
Well, you heard it from her, guys. Niggas ain't having it. I'm gonna have to bleep that. Last time I had a cashier's job, I was 17, working at a gas station illegally. That was 17 years ago. I know. How did I get that job? Some guy offered it to me. He owned the gas station. Turned out he tried to have sex with me for money. Makes sense. Because it's illegal to work at a gas station under the age of 18 because they sell cigarettes and alcohol. But literally, could you imagine? I mean, think about it. When you walk into a store, you know, when you get a friendly cashier at a gas station, I'm just like, God, bless your soul, you know, because they really ain't making shit, okay? And that's where the immigrants come into play. Anyways, this chick is a little bit of a low talker, okay? But she needs help, too.
I'm so sick of not being able to afford anything. My rent, food, fucking gas. I'm so tired of being this defeated because I can't even afford to eat or do anything. And I don't know if and when it's gonna get better. I'm so fucking stressed out. Like, this economy is such shit. Like, I don't know if anyone else is struggling as hard as me, but I can't afford anything. I can't afford to even be, like, living, essentially. And it feels fucking defeating.
This is a fact. Just work harder, dude. She's got a point, though. I mean, even if she had a good job, it's still, like, it's kind of fucked up. Like, I think about it, me doing this, right? Before we get into this is hilarious. But, like, I make really good money, but I live like I don't. But I think about my friends who have to literally work 70-hour weeks to make it work. And they're doing hard jobs. Like, I'm chilling. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just hanging out. But the reality of this, too, is a lot of us doing this job here, this internet, talking to you through a camera thing, you're basically just most of us are just making a regular wage. You know, 60 grand, 70 grand, 80 grand. Some people, these TikTokers, maybe 40 grand, 30 grand. Beats being a cashier, though. But this is funny, though. Trump as our president versus Kamala as your president. This is kind of funny.
$500 a plate dinner. Good night.
Oh, 500. Oh, okay. All right, no problem. Here, put us down for 4.
In case we want seconds.
We got no food. We got no jobs. Our pets' heads are falling off.
This is great, though. Dollar General CEO is getting worried about the economy. Says poor Americans are not spending money at his stores as often. That's how you know it's bad. I mean, for real, though, like, what in the fuck do you need at the dollar store? There ain't nothing there for you. Honestly, not even a job. No offense, I don't want people to, like, lose their job, but, like, I hate to talk shit, but, like, how many people that work at the dollar store or on EBT or something? It's almost like, to have these low-level jobs, you got to be under the age of 20, under the age of 25, or you have to purposely plan to be on welfare. And I don't mean to talk a lot of shit on it, but at the same time, I kind of get it, you know? The guy in the beginning is talking about, like, working harder, and I get it. I don't want to have to work 7 days a week, but if you're going to work somewhere like this, you're going to have to work 9 days a week. Honestly, you're going to have to reinvent the calendar. Like, seriously. Anyways, upward and onwards. Something to think about.
Like, I love my time with my kids. I love spending time with my family. If you don't, that's on you. I really don't give a fuck. So, that whole nobody cares, work harder shit, I'm not working myself into the grave. Fuck that. Like, this shit is stressful. I work 3 days a week, 12-hour shifts. I work overtime. So, I'm working 40 plus, close to 50 hours. That's a lot of motherfucking hard work. How much harder do I need to work? So everybody who's like, oh, nobody cares, work harder, man, fuck all that. Fuck all that. You can miss out on time with your loved ones. I'm not. I'm done with that dumb shit.
Because I work 3 days a week. He's got a point, though, man. I'm there, too. I'm at the point where I have to, like, when you're like a solo person, I'm in a relationship, but, like, as a solo person, it's easy to just work every day. Or, like, just pick up overtime every week. You almost get addicted to it. But then the moment you start, like, trying to have a family, or you're with somebody, or you want to spend some quality time, you can't do both. You can't. And that's why divorce is so high, I believe. This guy goes, you might think this is crazy, but I believe the reason that the job market is so terrible is because the government wants us all to rely on them for everything. I mean, they're the ones kind of fucking us in the butt, bending us over, if you really think about it. But let's end on a positive note here, okay? This this is kind of how I have always looked at life, and maybe it'll make your day a little bit better. You also have to do something about it, but right here, how I slide through life knowing the universe has my back and everything always works out in my favor. Yeah. Speaking about working overtime, if you're new here, welcome. Also got a second channel. Thanks for stopping by. You guys leave your thoughts, all right? If you're working 7 jobs, comment down below. Check out the second channel. I post clips from here and slightly different content. It's my version of working harder. Or am I working smarter? Take several hits. I'll see you tomorrow. God, that was a solid talk. It was a lot of fun.